What if God asked you to protect the most important child in the whole world? What if he chose you to care for Mary, to carry baby Jesus in your arms, to keep them safe from danger, and to love them every single day? That is exactly what happened to Saint Joseph. But here is what makes his story so amazing. Saint Joseph did not preach to crowds. He did not perform miracles. He did not say big speeches. And yet, he became one of the greatest saints in history. How? What made this quiet, humble carpenter so important in God's plan? Stay with me until the end, because in this video, you will discover the beautiful secret that made Saint Joseph a true hero of faith. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Superhero Stories of Faith, give this video a big like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to check out our books on Amazon for more inspiring saint stories for children. Saint Joseph lived in a small town called Nazareth more than 2,000 years ago. Nazareth was not a famous city. It was simple and quiet. The people there worked hard and lived humble lives. Joseph was a carpenter. He worked with wood, making useful things for families and homes. His hands were strong, but his heart was gentle. He was not rich. He was not powerful. He was not famous. But Joseph had something far more beautiful, a heart full of goodness, humility, and love for God. He listened. He obeyed. He served. And even though he did not know it yet, God was preparing him for an incredible mission. Joseph loved Mary deeply. She was kind, pure, and full of God's grace. But one day, Joseph found out something that shook his heart. Mary was expecting a baby. He did not understand how this could be possible. Joseph felt confused. He felt hurt. He felt afraid. But even in his pain, Joseph chose kindness. He did not want to shame Mary. He did not want to hurt her. This tells us something very beautiful about Saint Joseph. Even when his heart was troubled, he remained good. That is true strength. Then, one night, while Joseph slept, God sent an angel in a dream. The angel said, "Joseph, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, because the baby she carries comes from God." The angel told him the child's name would be Jesus. Can you imagine Joseph waking up after that dream? Suddenly, everything changed. Joseph understood that God had chosen him for an holy mission, to protect Mary, to care for Jesus, to become the earthly father of the Son of God. And Joseph said yes. No long speeches, no excuses, no running away. Just trust. That is one of the reasons Saint Joseph is so great. Soon after, Joseph and Mary had to travel to Bethlehem. It was a long and difficult journey, and Mary was close to giving birth. Joseph stayed by her side the whole way, caring for her with tenderness and courage. When they arrived, there was no room for them, no soft bed, no house, no comfortable place. So Jesus was born in a humble place, surrounded by peace, poverty, and love. And Joseph was there, watching, protecting, serving, loving. He could not offer gold or a palace, but he offered something precious, his faithful heart. But soon danger came. King Herod wanted to hurt baby Jesus. Once again, God warned Joseph in a dream and told him to flee to Egypt with Mary and Jesus. Joseph did not wait. He took his family and left in the night. Through fear, darkness, and uncertainty, Joseph protected them. This is why Saint Joseph is a hero. Not because he fought with a sword, but because he trusted God and gave everything to keep his family safe. He was brave. He was obedient. He was loving. Later, in Nazareth, Joseph taught Jesus many things. He taught him how to work with wood, how to use tools, how to be patient, how to do honest work well. But more than that, Joseph taught by his example. Jesus saw Joseph pray. Jesus saw Joseph work. Jesus saw Joseph obey God. Jesus saw Joseph love Mary. Joseph taught by the way he lived, and that makes his story even more beautiful. One day, when Jesus was still young, Joseph and Mary went with him to Jerusalem. But on the way home, they realized Jesus was missing. Can you imagine their fear? They searched for him for 3 whole days. Finally, they found him in the temple speaking with the teachers. Joseph did not fully understand everything, but he stayed faithful. Again and again, Joseph shows us what trust looks like. Even when life is confusing, even when we are afraid, we can stay close to God. The Bible doesn't tell us many details about St. Joseph's death, but Christian tradition tells us something beautiful. Many believe Joseph died in peace, with Jesus and Mary by his side. What a beautiful moment that must have been. After a life of love, sacrifice, silence, and faith, Joseph rested in the presence of the 2 people he loved most on earth. That is why so many people love St. Joseph so deeply. He reminds us that holiness can grow in quiet places, in daily work, and in family life. Today, St. Joseph is known as the protector of families, the patron of workers, and the patron of the universal church. Why? Because he cared for Jesus and Mary with courage, because he worked with love, because he listened to God, because he protected what was holy. St. Joseph teaches us that real greatness is not about being loud, it's about being faithful. So now we can answer the question from the beginning. How did a quiet carpenter become such a great saint? Because St. Joseph loved deeply, he obeyed bravely, he protected faithfully, he served humbly. He did not need many words. His life spoke for him. And maybe that's what makes him so special. St. Joseph reminds us that even small acts of love, helping at home, obeying with trust, working with joy, protecting our family, and staying close to God can make us real heroes too. Thank you for watching this story about St. Joseph. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Superhero Stories of Faith. Give this video a big like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to check out our books on Amazon for more beautiful saint stories for children. And tell us in the comments, what do you love most about St. Joseph? See you next time, little superheroes of faith.